Winds blowing. Because of my inclination toward science, if there are things I don't see and don't understand, I don't believe them until I see or understand them. However, there are things that I believe in even if I can't see them. And these are things that have been proven through the efforts of many scientists. These include gravity, which holds us attached to the ground, or the magnetic force by which magnets attract iron. In particular, the existence of air is invisible to the naked eye, but on a windy day, I know that there is wind and air because of the force that pushes my body. I also know that there is air as I watch the birds fly, pushing the air through their flapping wings. In this context, I would like to briefly describe some of the things that I directly or indirectly experience, understand, or know about the various invisible contents that Christianity claims. First, the question is whether God created the world. As a scientist who loves nature, whenever I see nature, especially living things, I am amazed at its order, various changes, and beauty. In the beautiful singing of each bird, the beauty of flowers, and the miraculous appearance of grass insects, I always witness the transcendent beauty and order of creation, not just survival. I believe that the hand of the Absolute, who loves beauty and order, is the main force behind creation. Next, the question is asked, if God created humans in his image, why can the human world be so evil? But I think a different question is more important. I understand the fact that the world is progressing for good, even in the midst of our evil, to be evidence that God's good hand is holding the world. Sometimes in our anger against the evil we feel within us, and sometimes through unselfish sacrifices, I witness the good marks of the image of God left in us. And so the question to be asked is rather, how can there be so much good in the world, even when there is evil within humankind? And I believe that answer is God. Next, the question is whether the Holy Spirit that God sends is real and does his work exist. After fighting for 4 years with people who preached God to me, one day I prayed for a while and I came to believe in God. Right there. It was such a wonderful experience that I believed everything in just one day, so much that I couldn't even remember the 20 objections I had had until then. I can testify about God with confidence because I have experienced that power. Also, I have witnessed many times how people who rejected Jesus, like my past self, changed dramatically the moment they accepted him, and I became convinced that there is a mysterious power, the presence of the Holy Spirit, not just the will and influence of man. The next question is whether the Bible was written by God. I have read as many books as others, but I have never seen a book like the Bible. I have never experienced a book other than the Bible that has the power to change my life completely. Because certain passages of the Bible changed my life, I experienced the power of the book that God wrote, the Bible, so I am convinced that it was not written by man. I strongly recommend that you read this book for yourself. Next is the idea of whether heaven exists. We all have a strong homing instinct and the nostalgia and longing that comes with it. However, there was an experience where the longing was not satisfied even when I went back to my hometown, and in fact that longing became even stronger. I understand that this was because my subconscious was seeking my true home, which is in heaven. The next question is whether the soul is immortal and judgment exists. I have never experienced the final judgment. It's something that I can only experience when I die. However, since most of the other promises of the Bible are being experienced in my life, I live believing that even this last remaining promise will come true. Lastly, I want to share my experience of the moment when the existence of God came closer to me. My family was in a major car accident, and we almost died. There was a brief 5-second moment when our car rolled over on the highway. It was at this time that I realized that a person can think a lot in a short amount of time. What I felt and thought at this time was the great fear of standing before God. The fact that I would stand in front of the Absolute was more real than anything else. And I experienced that other realities were illusions like fog that I would forget when I woke up from my dream. Whenever I remember this moment, it makes me think that God's world is the true reality rather than the life I live.